Diana asks, can President Trump be investigated and potentially charged after serving as president based on ways that he monetized his businesses during the presidency? Since that
So,
wouldn't, since what, so her argument, let me just say,
yeah.
her argument is, well, if he enriched himself not in the course of formal presidential duties, is that chargeable?
So in theory, yes. The problem is that the Supreme Court's presidential immunity decision interpreted official acts very, very broadly. So last year, the Supreme Court ruled that the president cannot be criminally prosecuted for official acts that are core to his constitutional powers, and then presumptively, like as a rule, can't even be prosecuted for official acts that are on the outer perimeter of his constitutional power. And the way that the court described that outer perimeter encompasses almost everything. I mean, there's a question now of whether Trump writing hush money payments to Stormy Daniels in his first term was an official act, basically because he did it from the White House. That is how broadly the Supreme Court has defined these official acts. So, in theory, a future prosecutor could say, "Oh, well, he did this on his private time. He had these dealings with crypto kings and made these bargains on his private time, so it's not an official act, so we can still charge him." But he would come back and say, "Oh, but this was part of my broader effort to engage in international diplomacy with the Saudis. That to get this agreement with the Saudis, I needed to work with this stablecoin financier who said that he might be willing to extend a line of crypto credit into the Saudi kingdom if we make this deal." Whatever. I'm making that up, but that's the
Yeah,
kind of thing that he will say. And as soon as he says that, courts have to stop. They can't interrogate it. They can't introduce it into evidence. They can't
so
do
he
anything.
just declares that, and then that has to be respected by prosecutors in the courts.
There is an extremely heavy presumption that once he declares it, that is the end of it and that is the truth. And it is extraordinarily difficult for prosecutors to surmount that because, in part, they can't question his motives. They're not allowed to ask whether he was genuinely doing this out of a political or constitutional reason or if it was for self-gain. The decision says that they can't look into motives, and that makes it very difficult to prove corrupt intent.